Hello, welcome to the House of Spirit. Welcome home. Thank you so much for your time and attention on this timeless reading on the 4 pillars of life. Them being heart and intimacy, career, work and purpose, finances and money, and spirituality. So let's begin by choosing the 4 options on your timeless reading of the 4 pillars of your life right now. Okay. Pile number 1, we have the wolf. Pile number 2, we have the doe. Let me just adjust this. Okay. Pile number 3, we have the swan. Number 4, we have the falcon. So now we will choose 4 cards for each one of these piles. Now it's time for you to pick your pile, or maybe 2 piles, 3, or even all of them, if you feel like so. This one, and these 2. 3. Okay, it's too much. 2, 3, and 4. So now is the time to pick your pile, and then all the clarifications we will use tarot later on. So let me begin with the individual pile reading. If you chose the wolf, this is your reading. The wolf here representing someone who is maybe going through a lot of spiritual transformation, someone who is not afraid to be different, to go off the beaten path. It's quite the blessed time of life, but it can feel a little bit like the dark night of the soul for some people, maybe those who delve deeper into spiritual matters and into their own issues. It's certainly an inward facing temperament and inward facing time, a time of a lot of interior growth and discovery. So I would say this is a person who is very much into spirituality and into their own spirituality, their own matters, and who is not afraid to be different and original. It's actually a very creative time, period, and to be blessed and to be supported by such an energy, such a powerful animal, transformative, and a lot of wisdom to be gained from this, sometimes in a tough way, So now we're going to put this a little bit to the side so we can start with the 4 pillars. We will start with the eastern pillar. We have Alba the retriever. So nice. Then we have, oh, okay, let me push this a little bit here. The topsy-turvets, the south pillar. Iris of the rainbows, the western pillar. And we have G. Hobaya in the northern pillar. So, a lot of spiritual transformation I can see. So, the eastern pillar, it talks to us about the new dawn, the beginning of something. So this is actually the beginning of something going backwards. What I mean is that you are looking back, you are discovering things from the past, maybe lost dreams, maybe hopes that you forgot, maybe something that you thought was gone, and some memories are coming up, are bubbling up, are resurfacing with all this shadow work maybe. And these memories are bringing a lot of beauty, actually, even if it's tough, even if there are a lot of maybe even different opinions, because on the southern pillar you have the topsy-turvets, and the southern pillar here talks a lot about love, intimacy, human relations and passions. And there are 2 interpretations on this. I would say you need feedback, you need other people's opinions, other people's views. It's very important to check on yourself with friends and with people who you know have a good intention, but also I feel like it's a little bit of noise. So there's a pearl to be found, but there's a lot of darkness around it, and maybe the noise is too much, maybe it's too loud, and the advice of the wolf is to go into a more silent, a more stealthy mode, I would say, but taking into account other people's opinions if they are good intentioned and you feel, because with the wolf, you really, discernment of spiritual matters is very, very important, because he's so keen, his senses are so pure, so they hear subtle sounds, they smell subtle scents. So there's a need for really nitty-gritty, detailed inner spiritual work, emotional work, and maybe even studying. On the western pillar, Iris of the rainbows, is also talking about hope. The western pillar here is also talking about material, so spirituality and materiality. The dichotomy and also the perfect symbiosis between the two. I would say Iris of the rainbow here, rainbows, she's saying that for now things might be a little bit confusing, a little bit dark, but in the future there's a bright promise. The rainbow is the promise of something. It is the hope for a sunnier, warmer, easier time. So I would say that in terms of material situation, you're covered, you're fine, because even if things now are a little bit hard because of this process that usually shakes your life to the core, it's going to be fine. It's going to be all right. There is abundance around Iris of the Rainbows. Some of them are really fat gnomes. They have plenty. They are happy. And yeah, just keep hope alive and be conscious of that hope. And the pearl is here, you know, so it will never disappear. The G, Hobaya. Here in the North Pillar is talking to me about not being afraid and not letting some of the nightmares that may come with finding out certain aspects of yourself and of others and being in these more or less confusing times. Just be mindful, because some of the fears might be completely imaginary and just nightmares. So don't believe everything that comes up. I would also say that the North Pillar is talking to me a lot about spiritual masters, because it's the pillar of wisdom, of ancestors, of people of lineage, and the way the energy goes from generation to generation. So I would be mindful of spiritual leaders and just trust your intuition. Never forget your hopes and dreams, and the simplicity and the beauty, almost the innocence of that spiritual impulse, that need for blossoming spiritually, for searching, for soul searching, really. Be mindful of maybe masters and leaders who are not very, let us say, pure in their intentions, because this axis, you have the topsy-turvies with different perspectives. So it's very important to have the different perspectives, but also to try not to be deceived, to be deluded. So this is a very, very spiritual reading. I would tell you, just don't lose hope, because everything will come to you. Maybe it's not so easy now. Maybe you have to do a lot of trying, a lot of trial and error, but you will get there. This is about your journey. It's very particular to you, and don't try to follow others or to follow what other people do just because they did it. It doesn't mean it fits you. This is a very original and particular path. It's very specific to you. It has everything to do, for me, with spirituality. Yeah, and don't lose hope, because the rainbow is right around the corner for you. I hope you enjoyed. I will go into the next pile, so if you want to come with me, please, welcome. If this is where I say goodbye, then so this is a very, very spiritual reading. It is not for a conventional person. It is not for a person who follows the beaten track. You're a very original person with a very different approach to spirituality, and don't be afraid of that, and embrace it. And don't forget your dreams. Don't forget your first intention going into this path, and stay pure. Don't let yourself be too influenced by other people's ideas and maybe fear-inducing, You know, those leaders who just try to make you fearful of something? Don't follow that. It is hurtful at this time because if you're going through this journey, it's very, very particular to you. And although it might feel lonely, in reality, it's not. You are very well protected and guided with Iris of the Rainbow showing you there's a way, there is change on the horizon, and things are going to definitely change for the better. So, this was your reading. Thank you so much. See you. If you chose the door, this is your reading. As you can see, she is calling you into another dimension, to another world. But let us see. What is the path she is showing us? To what is on the other side of that veil? This is a very gentle call. Let's see. So on the Eastern Pillar, we have Singer of Transfiguration. Beautiful. A call for change. Okay. On the Southern Pillar, we have the Guardian at the Gate. The Western Pillar, we have the Glanconer. On the Northern Pillar, we have Gotcha. Beautiful. Okay. So, let me just feel a bit. I would say that the Tao is urging you not to look back, because the Singer of Transfiguration talks to me about success after a lot of struggle. So you are already coming out of a struggle, and to me this struggle had to do with someone that had an influence on the way you make money and the way you survive financially. And this is a very toxic person, because this is a person who might be gaslighting, might be manipulative and projecting. So it is not a well-intentioned person here. And with the Gotcha in the Northern Pillar, I would say that something has shook the structures of your life pertaining to the career path you chose. So to me, the advice of this reading is to change what you need to change in the way you make money and in the way you work, and even your career. Change your career and don't look back, because you are supported by a lot of blessings, human blessings, that come maybe in forms that you don't expect, because maybe they're supporting you not really in the same work environment that you're used to. So it's a different environment. It's a whole different dimension, because you have guardian at the gate. So it's the gates are opening, and the veil is going to be crossed. So you're crossing into another way of life, completely different, and leaving behind this structure that fell, that had to do with maybe your expectations towards your career. And I would not look back, because things are much, much better. And the Singer of Transfiguration is such a, it's also a good luck card. It's like a, you won a prize. So don't look back, and change what you need to change, whatever it takes. Well, balanced, of course, but you are supported, maybe by friends, maybe by family. There are people who are cheering for you, who are happy for you, but maybe not exactly in the environment you're living, because this was very toxic. So don't be afraid to leave toxic environments and toxic people behind. Just go for it. Go for the change. Go for the transition into a much, much purer and innocent, like the dough, fresh start. It's a new life. To me, it speaks a lot about career, but also your work environment. So it has to do also with the humans, also with the human relations in your work environment, and maybe even a complete change career-wise, and complete overhaul, just a complete U-turn maybe. But if that's what fits you, if that's what makes you happy, just go. Just be innocent and fresh about it, and just enjoy. This is a very, very lucky time of your life, because you're so blessed with the Singer of Transfiguration, Guardian at the Gate, and the Doe, like angels, covering you with light and love, and just helping you change to a more healthy environment, to a more peaceful, surely, environment for you to work and to prosper. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed. This was your reading. See ya. If you chose the Swan, this is your reading. This is a card. How beautiful it is. This is a card that talks about beauty and love coming into your life. It's a very, very auspicious card, auspicious animal to all who are creative, who are poets, who are writers, who are painters, designers. So it's also a blessed card for those who create in general. It can also mean new love and soul. A lot of, if you put soul in what you do, this is a great inspiration for you. So now, let's put this to the side. Start with the 4 pillars reading. So on the eastern pillar, we have the fawn. On the southern pillar, we have the bodacious bodak. The western pillar, we have a feline. And on the northern pillar, we have the Singer of the Chalice. Great. So, to me, this reading is talking about, it can be creative endeavors, or it can be a new love, a new person, a new love interest coming into your life. So, but I would say that before you go to another relationship into another relationship with someone else, there is something from the past. There is something kind of sabotaging here with the bodacious bodak. There's this energy of just undermining this change that should be natural. It should be just a natural flow into something different, or it can be like a creative block also. And I would say it's related to something that is not finished, something that is not completely processed, completely digested, let's say, here with the feline. And something is unfinished. So before you go into another creative endeavor, you have to finish something from the past. And this something might be tricky because there are sabotaging energies. It might be self-sabotage, of course, but maybe not. Because the southern pillar also has a lot to do with connections with other people. And I would say there's someone in your environment who's a little bit of a saboteur, but hope is paramount. It has to change because nature says so. It's unstoppable, this change. It's something that has to happen. Even with the saboteur, even with the unfinished matters. But if you don't change this, if you can't process this, it will be maybe not such a complete and fulfilling experience for you. And the advice here is to try your best to, if you go into a new relationship or if you are going for a new creative endeavor, please be mindful of unfinished situations from the past, of maybe even repeating patterns that are unhealthy. Maybe you can make changes in your habits, in yourself, in your routines, your creative routines even, and in the way you express your feelings to others, or in the way you build relationships with others and bond, the way you bond with others. There's a bit of mischief, there's a little bit of a tricky energy here, and I'm not saying you're tricking others, it's not that, it's just that sometimes we just do not process patterns from previous relationships and even from habits of creation, habits of, if you're painting or drawing or creating something with your hands, and you have to prepare the your paint and your canvas, and there's a lot of mindfulness in that process, that if you are focused, you will not repeat mistakes that will be repetitions of old patterns, and you will be able to really truly channel creation and channel this soul, this beauty, because if you don't do that, this soul will not come as pure. It will come because it needs to come. The singer of the chalice and the fawn is just, it's natural, it's nature, it's in your nature, and it's also the natural flow. But if you can maybe tweak these things, you will be much more, your cup will be filled, you will be much more happy with your achievement, being it in a relationship or a creative endeavor. So I wish you luck with that, and there's a lot of natural protection with the fawn and with the singer of the chalice, a beautiful plenty, spiritual plenty, emotional plenty, so abundance. So I wish you luck. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. Bye. If you chose the hawk, this is your reading. Now, if you chose the hawk, this is your reading. And to me, the hawk talks about connecting with what is important from your past, from your ancestors, from your life story, clearing away all the unnecessary baggage and really taking ownership of your abilities, of your life, of what you are, and being filled with, it's not pride, but it's a sense of dignity about yourself, and really being happy with yourself, being satisfied and fulfilled with yourself, what you are at this particular point in life. So wow. Beautiful. Okay, so now for the 4 pillars, we have the Eastern pillar with, so on the Eastern pillar we have the Bright Mother. Southern pillar we have Geo, the Slow. The Western pillar we have Luathas, the Wild. On the Northern pillar we have the Spirit Dancer. Okay, beautiful. So with the Bright Mother here, I would say, in conjunction with the hawk, our beautiful hawk, I would say that this is a time for careful consideration of what is truly important in your life and in your past. What do you want to bring to the present and with you into the future? Memories, relationships, people, career-wise, the way you approach life, everything. I would say there's certainly an advice here to really, because you can feel like the contradictory energies here with Luathas the Wild, fiery, unpredictable, a bit crazy making energy, and the Spirit Dancer urging you into a more spontaneous, more free way of thinking and of being guided in your life, which is also very connected to the hawk, with the higher perspective, with a dignified and sublime, subtle even way of seeing yourself. But these energies, more flowy and a bit chaotic, are in complete contrast with Geo the Slow and being patient, being considerate, waiting. Almost nobody likes waiting, but with the Bright Mother, it's urging you to carefully balance this energy, and through balancing the patience, the waiting, and the wisdom, natural wisdom that comes with it, of observing of silence, balancing this energy with spontaneity and fire and a little bit of an unpredictable behavior and just going for it, not thinking, not considering. So this reading is urging you to focus on that, focus on balancing when you choose to be patient and when you choose to be spontaneous and impulsive and just go. So in choosing wisely between these two very contrasting ways of being, you will discover what is important for you, what is true for you, and what will be most important for you in the future. And maybe even, if with the mother here and with the falcon, I would say maybe even through generations. So maybe you found some treasure, some like a box of old photos or some documents, or maybe music, maybe paintings, maybe something that you found about yourself, your family, your ancestry, and you have to choose what is important, or it might be just yourself. It might be in your relationships, choosing when to speak, when to be silent, when to wait, when to give others the space. This is very important here because this is the placement for relationships. So maybe you have to give others more time to process, more time to feel, to speak even. But being mindful of balancing this with spontaneity, freedom, and your own spirit, your own truth. Yes. So this is what I see for you. This is a very beautiful advice, very sweet advice with the Bright Mother. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this reading. Thank you so much.